who are we? Who are we first? We'll talk about who the company is in a second. My name is Rod. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I moved here in 2012, so 12 and a half years ago. I was a work from home guy. I had an online business, and I figured, why do I need to pay all these crazy Canadian taxes and move to a country that's more friendly that way and that doesn't have winter? Basically, that's it. There's really no other. I was at a time in my life that I was able to do that. And so I did it. I made the jump. And I'm kind of would say I'm in this business today because what I did is I looked at a couple of YouTube videos and I sold everything I owned, packed two suitcases, and moved to Panama. And the first 3 months was pretty difficult here. And then I met this guy who was already in Panama helping expats relocate here. And if I wouldn't have met him, I honestly believe because of the money I would have lost and the people that I got involved with were not that weren't out for my best interest.
So that means probably following the YouTube videos advices probably get you that far.
Well, yeah, yeah, really. So Oscar has been doing this. Well, this is not Oscar's turn, but honestly, we're not the new guys on the block, definitely. Like in 2012, when I moved here, I actually moved here 2011. So 2012, when I met Oscar, he was already helping expats move here, and he solved all my issues within the first week. We became friends, we started working together and been business partners ever since. So we did mostly private relocation stuff, which I really enjoyed, but the group tours, the small group tours that we started back in 2018, really have worked out well. Like we do small group tours, 10, 15 people, typically around 12 right now. And show people this country and give them the advice how to move here. And I would never look back. Like I love Panama. I'm not moving back to Canada. My burial plot's paid for. No, I'm actually being cremated. You know that. Okay. But so I really enjoyed it here. So Oscar, your turn to tell your story in less time than I did.
Well, everybody, thank you first of all for all of you to take the time to be with us tonight. My name is Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia, and I've been here in Panama for about 15 years now. I've been working in the tourism industry, general tourism industry for almost 20 years. I used to work in Costa Rica, working in a very small luxury hotels. So all about hospitality, a lot of experience in hospitality and the tourism industry. Studied that back in Colombia. And when I got here, I lived in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half. And when I came here in 2009, I was just getting things like anybody, any other expert, just to get things on around. And I'm very familiar, as you might assume, with the language and the culture because I'm a very next door neighbor. But it still was very difficult to get accomplished. To me, it was I saw many North Americans or other foreigners from other countries. They were struggling for the basic needs, like how to get even pay bill, how to get the insurance, how to get the car registration, how to renew car registration. So very simple things, and also how to get the appropriate attorney. So I thought, well, if it's this difficult for me, that I'm very familiar with the culture and the language, I can imagine with somebody. So that's why that I start doing these relocation services and private services as an interpreter. So this is how it started. This is also how I met my new now business partner, friend, brother. He's like a mentor to me as well. And then just been doing this since 2011. So this is what I do. I consider myself as a jack of all trades. So whatever is need to get done for you guys to make the move easier to prevent any risks for you, I'm the type of person, and that's pretty much what we do. So been working and experiencing small luxury hotels. I really like the concept of just small, intimate, more personal. And that's why when we started to do these group tours, one of the first things I told Rod, I don't want to deal with any 20 plus big bus. I don't like that because that's just like a herding cattle. I don't like that. So that's why I come up with it. We have to do, if we want to do this, we're going to do small groups, 8 to 12 tops. So it's been working out beautifully for us. And so far, it's been an amazing asset for people that really wanted to get more personal and appreciate more the customer service that we provide. And my other better half, she's not here, but she's at home right now, and the next Q&A she will join us. Our manager of operations, Mrs. Megan, and she's already from the States, and well, we're missing her tonight, but I'm sure everybody knows about her. And yeah, this is all who we are. We try to do this job because we care about it. It's a profession that is not in any degree in any university, but I'll guarantee you that is actually you need more than YouTube videos. You need more than a lot of things to get this type of knowledge, and you need to be boots on ground. So our experience for over, I mean, me myself, 15 years. Rod has been here 12, 13 years.
Yep.
So we know what's going on here the whole time, full time in Panama. So we are the Wikipedia for Panama.
Right on. A bunch of people have joined. I just wanted to give them the procedures one more time. Sorry for boring you. Don't type questions in the chat, please. Type them in the Q&A down at the bottom. And for those of you that want to join us live, so we can hear you and hopefully see you, click on the raise your hand button. You can ask your question that way. It's down at the bottom of your screen for your computer people. For your phones, you got to touch the screen to bring up the menu. And then on the other option, I believe it's under the three dots, you will see the little hand gesture. So for those of you who want to ask that question. Oscar, one thing we should talk about.
Yeah.
We just finished our newest offering. We didn't know how it was going to go, but
I knew how it was going to go. I knew from the beginning, and I knew it was going to be as successful because, I mean, that's our home province.
Yeah,
So I was
3-day Cherokee tour. Typically for people that may have been to Panama once already and they've decided on this region, or they absolutely know they're not going to enjoy the 95-degree heat of the beach all so
sometimes over 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very new product that we launched. So in addition with our 7-day tour, and it was successful. People really enjoy, as I was expecting. We have a nice, beautiful time with them. The same information, the 7-day week will receive. We get it with us, and they got to see different areas, more deep into the Cherokee province, and of course, for people they just wanna have located this area of Cherokee. So to see David, Barqueta Beach, and Volcan, Cerro Punta, of course, Boquete.
Honestly, guys, this price, best price you can get, even cheaper than taking private tours with some companies that might make you buy something first and then you got to pay for your own hotels. And so this includes everything. It includes Oscar, Megan, and Rod after the tour. We sold out.
During and after, yeah.
And in June, I forgot to update the website because of that one guy that bought. We only have 3 spots left for June. So if this is something you're interested in,
yeah,
that's our commercial.
Yeah, I highly recommend
I'm
that.
gonna put this in the chat.
Yeah, it's worth it.
No, you're not gonna
That's a great
see
idea.
Panama City, Coronado, Tennessee, places like that. But you know, like I said, this is for a specific person that wants to retire in the cooler mountain climates,
Or if you
of Cherokee, or
Yeah.
even Debbie.
Or even David, I mean,
Yeah.
it's about what works for you. David, the appeal of David or Playa Barqueta is, one, Barqueta is very close to David. 2, David has the airport that can connect you to Panama City and other destinations worldwide. So that's why David makes sense for us, for that city on quite warm weather.
Okay,
As I
I
mean,
just sent
also.
the link to the wrong people, to the host and panelists. Let's send the link to everybody. I sent the link to myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there we go.
It happens.
Okay, I like this screen. I can open everything up and we can actually read it.
Yep, I like it.
Okay, so we're gonna get together. Now, for those people, again, anyone want to ask your questions live, let us meet you. It's nice to see other people that are thinking about retiring in Panama. Just click on the raise hand little button, and then we will enable your microphone.
And let me add just one thing. This is not for retiring in Panama. This is just even to start a new life in Panama. Because we also have clients that are not looking to retire. They just wanted to move here. They want to do the safe move, getting all the best information.
Yeah, we've had people in their 30s, 40s. We're doing a private tour with a couple in their 30s from California, like next week, 1 week long.
First time I'm doing a tour for someone younger than me.
Yeah. I wish I could say that. Okay. Actually, our age group is a little bit younger, probably average 55, but we are very welcoming and accommodating to those in their 70s.
Anybody.
Our good friend, 82 years old, celebrated his birthday. He was on our December tour and moved here, and he's here permanently.
Yeah.
And see, we're running around town all the time. Love the guy. All right, so let's move into questions. I'm gonna, people who raise your hand.
Let's say any chance volume up to here.
Does anybody have? That would be, I would guess, I could try to move the microphone closer to Oscar and me, but that could be your system. Like you might need to find the volume where you are.
Yeah. All right, who is Luis? Luis, first one.
Luis, you gotta unmute yourself, buddy. There we go.
Hey, Luis.
There, your camera's on. You gotta hit your microphone.
There you go.
I just unmute my. I just unmute.
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Sorry, I'm just placing my camera and everything. So I'm calling you from, well, zooming from Montreal, let's say. That's where I am in Canada. So Rob, you're from Vancouver, right?
Yes. I was born in Saskatchewan, but lived my adult life.
That's really perfect. Well, I'll try to be quick because I wrote down a couple of questions. First of all, I speak French. I'm bilingual, so I speak English. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife, and we've been in Panama twice. So last year, we were there for a full 2 weeks around, how to call this? Well, Panama City, we went to friends near San Blas.
San Blas, yeah.
I think so, yeah. And this year we went for 3 weeks. And this time, last year we did not have a car. We were mostly live at my friend's place and another place. So we never really had a chance to travel around. But this year it was different. So we did rent a car, and for 16 days we traveled northeast. We went to David, and then we went to Boquete and Vulcan. So we were able to see the difference from the south, if I can say, middle of Panama, and then the north side, mostly Boquete. So that was for us a really enjoyable place, more for me anyway, because I really like the forests, the temperature, from David to Vulcan or Boquete.
Yeah.
So the thing is for us, I did not know you guys before. It's recent, but we already been there in Panama, so we have a good idea, a bit what's going on over there and where we would like to be. So let's say we are preparing ourselves for the next, let's say in 2 years, year and a half to 2 years. And we're looking more to buy a land. First of all, I'm a general contractor. I build home or renovation, so it's something that I know. And so that's why I would probably prefer to buy a land and to construct something. We don't want something big or nothing like this. It's really cozy, minimalist, if I can say, you know. And what will probably mostly happen, first of all, I have an RV. Do I pronounce properly?
Mhm.
RV, you know, those motor car,
Yeah, yeah, motor.
motorhome?
Yep.
Motorhome. So, and the idea was that we would leave from Montreal, travel probably to Vancouver, taking a couple months and driving down to the south and to go to Panama.
Mhm.
That's the vision what we have. We want to explore and to get there, and probably before to get there, to already have maybe a land, which is not done yet. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, we got to
And
get to like I don't want to rush you along, but we
yeah,
got to get to your question.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. What's your question?
Oh, well, yeah. Let me see. For sure, I was told when I was there this year that I could open a bank account. Well, I need an address, so I could go through a friend who's already had an address. That was one thing. Um, the question was, how can I say, can I buy a land before to get there? If I know what I want exactly, can
Well,
I go through?
there's no way Oscar and I would ever advise you to buy land without being here, seeing it, standing on it.
And also making sure you have a proper lawyer for real estate. They make sure it's cleared out that title, it's cleared out, there is nothing behind it. So it's something you want to do first in person to check out everything.
Yeah.
That's we always recommend.
You might be a general contractor, but that means nothing here. They don't build like that here. Like it's totally different. And in fact, part of our Cherokee tour is we visit someone who did that, who bought the land and built this house, and they walk through the entire procedure.
Yeah.
So it would be 10 times more complicated than it is in Canada, but still with the right connections, you can put it all together and do it here for sure.
Yeah, and also depending if you have the right person that's gonna work for you, it means it's gonna be an easy job or it's gonna be hell and earth. So that's why it's very important that before anything you are here in person, check the land, get your lawyer, get the first of all the transaction made very clear and clean, then you move forward with the planning and making sure you have the reliable person. They have excellent reputation. You have to be
Okay.
make sure that, and also that person has the right connections to make things happen with the construction.
Cool.
Well, you see the type of house that I want to build. Like I said, it would be something really simple. How do you say that in English? You know those boat container. How do you call this? You know those shipping.
Yeah, the container. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a place in Panama on the side of the beach. They were constructing those things,
Yeah,
and
there's 4 or 5 container building companies in Panama. One of our guests is currently building one very close to us here in Boquete.
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's perfect. And I think you already answered that through your website. It's possible to buy a car, but first of all, I'm planning to get down when I'm really ready to go visit some land, you know, next year. But for sure, like you said, it needs preparation. That's for sure. Um,
You need
and then,
like to buy land and build a house. Dave, the guy that we see on our Cherokee tour, will tell you, you need the right real estate agent or absolutely the right lawyer. The
right contractor, because you need
yeah,
to be a Panamanian
there's so
contractor.
many rights that you're gonna have to hit, or this can cost you some money.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or
is it
yeah.
is it hard? I mean, is it complicated to construct something over there? I mean, what
Yes.
about no? So you're
Yeah,
First of all, none of your workers are going to speak English or French.
Say again?
None of your employees or your workers or builders will speak English or French. They're
Oh,
all
okay, yeah. Okay. What about, because Rob, like in Canada, when you're working in the construction field, you need all kind of permit. So in Panama, is it much easier, I mean, to build,
no.
to have permit
No,
and stuff like that?
no, it's that's why it's important that you have boots in the ground to do all this. Because first of all, once you have the lot, and if it's something you want to pursue, it is possible, it is feasible, but you need to be boots on ground for that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's gonna be it can be a big headache for you and you can lose money.
Mhm.
Which
okay,
that's why we're trying to tell you that it is possible, but we cannot tell you how difficult because it's all it depends where you buy, it
yeah,
depends the time of the year you're building. There's many varieties that we just can answer that one.
Yeah, we just want to instill in you, Luis.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be careful. You got to move slowly, and
Very
if you
slowly with
think you
that.
can do it yourself, you're putting a lot of risk there.
okay,
It could take a year just to get an occupancy permit. You
Yep.
just saw that.
If
yeah,
you have the right
If you don't
people.
have the right people, now we worked with our former guest. We worked with we found him his place, his rental to live. We vetted his builder, his
Yeah.
lawyer, all that came with us because he took our tour and then moved here. And then we held his hand through the process and we drank champagne on his new deck when he finally moved in.
okay.
It can be done, but
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
maybe a last question because I don't
Okay,
know
you
if
gotta make it quick. We got 100 and some people on here. We gotta let
Oh,
everyone ask
okay. Well,
questions.
I'll let you go, guys, because I'll be in touch with you soon anyway, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll hold my question for another time.
Okay, like Luis, like don't think to come here and take our Cherokee tour. Yes, you've been here before, but we get into depth. You meet the right lawyers. You meet the right real estate people. You meet the right, like we can set you up with the contractor to meet after about building a house and how it's done. We do that. Just last week, we set up a guy, Oscar took him to a private school
Yeah.
to meet the administration to talk about his two kids that are going to
Three
move here
kids.
with him. Three kids.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay.
So don't think that's an investment, especially since they're all inclusive. So
It is a very, very affordable investment and it will save you a lot of time, a lot of headaches and potentially lose
Yeah.
thousands of dollars.
Well, I
and
really
we'll
appreciate your
show you a
time,
lot
guys.
more places than you probably saw on your 2-week trip.
Potentially.
So
Okay. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So welcome. Thank you, Luis.
all righty.
Bye.
See you later.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So who else do we have that wants to have any questions, that want to join us? Delightful.
Yeah, raise your hand and we're gonna start with multitude questions in the chat. What do we do? Let's just take, I'll do one, then you do one. Okay. With the pensionado visa, can a discount be applied to any flight or the routes involving Panama? It has to be with an airline that has an office in Panama and the flight leaves from Panama and returns. That's or a one-way flight that leaves. But that is where the discount, that's how the discounts apply. So what a lot of people do, they save money. Once they get the visa, they fly here one way, and then they get the discount on a return ticket on their next trip back to the US or Canada.
All right.
Oh, fungo. Okay,
What's fungal?
I'll do this one. Okay. Brian, I have gone through, I think about 15 to 18 people on this topic, fungal and text now. 3 of us have used both and tested. Fungo's the best. And for you Canadians, you can a week to 2 weeks before you move here, you can go download the Fongo app. It's a voice over IP telephone app for your phone. You can port your existing cell phone number to that app. And once you arrive here, heck, you still have your Canadian number for texting and calling, and it's free. It goes from, I'm sorry. If you're on the international plan, you're going to have to pay $18 a year for texting. I have Fongo. If you look at our website, you see we have a Canadian number listed. That's my Fongo line. And I also use Fongo now as my number for my banks to receiving one-time passwords. But make sure you got to do the port of an existing cell phone company um, phone number, because if you buy a new number from Fongo, chances are some of your one-time passwords for banking will not work.
And by the way, hi, Brian Marine.
Okay. Cynthia, talk about the COVID restrictions that were here. I know it's the past, but she wants to know.
4 years ago, actually.
Yeah, Canada was really strict, but
Yeah. I think Canada was way more strict than Panama by far.
and for longer.
For longer. Panama, only restrictions there was some restrictions, but no one was going to jail unless they were really pushing it. And the only fine for people were $50, if so. Otherwise, would be just slap in the hand, go to your house. That's it. But yeah, the people here in Panama is just were very obedient in that regard. And it was restricted, but because people just don't wanna go against the law. But yeah, we have 2 hours for males. We only have 2 hours twice a week, right, Rod?
Yep.
But that doesn't mean we couldn't go around. I mean, I'm in the neighborhood we used to live. I used to walk around every day, no problem. You keeping my distance. And when I was with the kids and the pets, just for the mind peace.
Panama was one of the first countries in the America to reopen for tourism.
Yeah,
So this strictness only lasted for 6 months.
yeah.
Now the violations, let's say you were caught with a party, you were caught not wearing your mask, was a traffic ticket of $50.
Pretty much.
Now I know in Canada, my brother's next door neighbor, there were 8 of them over there for a dinner, and the police came and gave the guy a $2,600 ticket.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's your answer. Any chance you can turn up the volume? Okay, I think we got that. We got to get rid of these. Megan usually does this, Oscar.
I know.
Okay, let's talk about the tour and visiting Panama.
We don't visit Panama, we do drive by. Panama has been in our list as a potential addition in our tour. We just don't have much interest yet. I always believed in Panama is another destination that is becoming popular, but it requires, again, a type of personality to be there because it's not Americanized like Coronado or Panama City or Boquete or, so it's very Panamanian city. Now has been a lot of more commerce, and it's the capital of the province of Cocle. So it is close to the ocean, and also if you go higher up in Panama, you have a little altitude, you get a little cool breezes. We don't do it right now, but we're thinking about it. Definitely Panama is in our radar.
Perfect. How affordable is Panama as opposed to Coronado?
At least 40% less.
Yeah, you can get a house. I've seen some rentals in there.
Oh yeah, you can get a nice
600.
You can get a nice Kika house for like $600-700.
Yeah.
1,000, you can get a very nice place.
Hi, Colette. I'm going to answer your email in the chat. You need to click on that link and fill out that form for you want a private 3 days. I need you guys to remember something. Oscar and I do not farm out private tours. They are done by the 3 of us. And I say 3, Megan's usually sitting here.
Yeah.
Okay, they are done exclusively by us. We don't hire some foreigner that's been here for a year
Or a month.
yeah, I've seen that. Or we don't hire a local that's going to refer to you his sister-in-law's cousin's ex as the best lawyer in Panama,
Yep,
which I've seen happen.
very
We
common.
do the tours ourselves. So we can't put anything together based on our schedule. So please don't. I get these emails a lot. We're in Panama and we want a private tour on Thursday. Okay.
We can we can make it happen. We can work around like before or a week tour, and we can make it happen. I can make it happen the 3-day tour in Panama or around Panama City, no problem.
Yeah.
But it has to be around the plan ahead.
Yeah, it's planning ahead, planning our dates. It'll probably be to make it affordable for everyone.
Exactly.
Right at the beginning of one of our group tours.
Exactly. That will be actually the best situation. You got the win-win.
But we're in Panama City every month, so
Exactly.
you're there, doing a car.
Sometimes I do go to Panama 3 times in a month or more.
Yeah. Oscar buys cars for our guests. He even if he has the time, he'll buy cars for other people too.
Yeah.
He has bought, I was trying to do the math. Now, I wrote in an article, you bought over $500,000 worth of cars in the last 4 years. I think it's approaching $1 million.
I don't know.
$500,000 is only like how many cars is that? That's only $20,000 cars.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, some of the cars, normal value, the people invest in cars usually is between 18 to 32,000.
And you've done at least 50 of them in the last 5 years.
No, definitely, yeah.
Then you purchased over $1 million of the cars. Okay.
What can I say? I love my job.
I love his job. Okay, I'm just gonna clear these off. So if you fill out that form, Colette, we will get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll work it out with you. Make it happen.
Okay, if one moves to Panama
Oh, wait,
permanently,
the other one, we jump.
okay. What is the best way to move a very large sum of money from US funds from Canada to Panama? I can tell you this, Heidi. Now, you're going to have 2 options in Canada. I advise sign up for both of these platforms and check the rates. One is OFX. I'm going to type it in the chat because sometimes people hear OFX.com. And the other one is wise.com. Okay. OFX.com, as a Canadian, that's strictly what they will do. They will, you set them up with the link to your bank, just like bill pay. And you can say, okay, take $100,000 out of my account, put it into my OFX account and transfer it to US dollars and send it to my Panama account. Now, there'll be no fees for taking the money out and putting the money in. And OFX, in my experience, is about 1.5 to 2% cheaper than most US banks charge for currency conversion. Now, Wise, I have found, we fund this business. We collect money in the US and we have to move it to Panama, and we collect money in Canada. We have to move it to Canada. So we do this all the time, and we help people, our former guests here, who need to buy a house and do exactly what you're talking about, Heidi. Wise also, and you want to set these, you don't want to set these up the day before you need to do the transfer. You need to send them information, passports, data, proof of funds, you want all that done before you do your first transfer. Wise currently charges 1% over the Bank of Canada rate. Most banks charge 3% over Bank of Canada rate. So on $100,000, you're talking $2,000 savings. On a $500,000 house, you're talking $10,000 savings, just converting that money from Canadian to US. And you do an international wire transfer. Panama banks will tell you to use an intermediate. I never have in 12 years. Why? Because in the intermediate, one more step where something could go wrong and your transfer could get tied up. And it also costs money. All Panama banks have SWIFT codes. All Canadian and US banks have SWIFT codes. There's no need for an intermediate bank in any transfer. A lot of Wise, you have to tell them don't send through an intermediate or they'll automatically do it. And guess what? You get charged for it. So I hope that answers your question, Heidi. We have sat down, honestly, I'm going to bring this up. I just worked with a client, a past guest, who is bringing their pension here every month. And it was costing them $100 every month to bring a $3,000 US in pensions, which is ridiculous. I got them down to, we sat down, figured it out, we set up, like we were on a Zoom and, remote sharing and stuff like that. And we got a system down pat that it's now down to $38 a month. So say they're $60 a month, that's $700.
That's groceries.
Yeah, well, $700 a year we save them, because the Cayman Tour and
That's
they
a
get
no-brainer.
that. Now, here's the problem. I can't write an article to tell you guys how to do that, because there's dozens of variables. The article would be a book, because we've been doing this so long. I've been transferring money from Canada, from the US to Panama for 12 years. I used to have an office in Panama City for 5 years of programmers and customer support people, and I had to move payroll here every month. So I know how to move money here, and I know the cheapest ways how to do it, and we share that with our guests. Okay. Now, this is the other Canadian one, which I'll answer to. Oscar, if one moves permanently from Canada, do you use your Canadian citizenship? You never lose your citizenship, Canadian or US,
Or anybody.
unless you go through citizenship, unless you
Apply for citizenship in Panama.
there's a word for it. Said like if you renounce your citizenship.
Yeah.
I have been here 12 and a half years, and I am sitting here with my Canadian passport. That's how I travel.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the residency it's totally different than citizenship. You can be a permanent resident, you can have the e-cedula and still be a Canadian citizen.
Yeah.
Even though after 5 years, when you are a permanent resident, you want to apply for Panamanian citizenship, it's verbally an agreement that you will renounce, but it's nothing signed, it's not enforced. The only time you really need to renounce your citizenship is if you want to run for office, meaning president, mayor, something like that in Panama, which you don't want that job.
There's one thing though, if you come here on a pensionado, the chances of you getting a citizenship might be a waste of money. They don't just offer retired people passports here. So I know a lot of people that have tried it. It just sits on. It has to be signed off by the president of the country at the time. Each citizenship. So even if you become a non-resident of Canada, Heidi, there's so many Canadians on here. Sorry, US people. Canadians allow you to become a non-resident, and you never have to file taxes in Canada again. That's me. Yeah. You still keep your passport. I'm just a non-resident tax filing Canadian. Woohoo, go Canada.
Go Canada. Go Dutchy.
Okay. Now, Oscar, next one.
What is the scene of salsa dancing in Boquete or David? I'm interested in all that.
What?
This is those areas for relocation. I know Panama City has a lot of salsa clubs, but I'm not really interested in that area.
Oscar does it at his house all the time. Oscar and Megan. You guys should teach salsa dance.
I know.
You got the
I
big
know how to
ball.
dance it, but I don't know how to teach it. By the way, well, Boquete, now we're having more of the influence for salsa lessons. David, there is places, definitely more options in David. It's becoming so it's all about, you can have both, but it's not like part of the culture. And I'm saying this because I'm originally from what is known as the world's salsa capitals, which is Cali. But it's different ambiance. Now, sometimes I have the tours to Cali for people that want to experience that part of the salsa, but it is more salsa. There is definitely more clubs in David than Boquete by far. So I'm gonna be straight in that one. However, there is no new businesses in Boquete right now. They are offering salsa nights, lessons, and also like after the lesson, the people is to just have a good time and dance a little bit. Now, what style of salsa? I haven't seen it, but it's just the basic. Because sometimes depends on the country, there'll be a different style. Like the style where I'm from is a lot different than most and all over the world. But yeah, it will be more salsa in David. But if you want to be relocating to this part of the country, do you have to ask yourself where you want to feel more comfortable living every day? Pretty much that will be it.
I haven't done it ever, salsa dancing.
You need to
Okay.
come with me in May to
There
come.
we go. We'll have to do that. Okay, for those of you again, we got more and more people come on. I thought, okay, please, if you want to join us, we want to meet more of you. Just raise your hand and ask your question live. I apologize for my phone. The mute obviously did not do what I asked it to do. There we go. And just raise your hand, not your physical hand, that we can't see you, but down at the bottom of bar, it says raise hand. If you're on a computer, if you're on a phone, you just touch, I believe it's the three dots, and then you raise your hand, and that will tell us that you want to talk. Okay, I'm going to answer one more. It's from Carter. Which bank in Panama can accept wire transfers from the Bank of Montreal? All banks. It doesn't matter what bank you are in Canada, it doesn't matter what bank you have here, you can send an international wire transfer. Now, that being said, you have to be approved in your account to send international wire transfers.
Right.
Because of money laundering laws, the
Yeah.
US has put restrictions. Sometimes the US requires biometrics, some of that, like Bank of America. They sent me a letter that I have to come into a Bank of America office within 3 months to have my fingerprints taken to send international wires. This was back in 2018. But anyways, all you need the following components here. You need the name of your bank and the Panama City address of its head office. You need the SWIFT code of the bank in Panama. That's not difficult. You just Google SWIFT code Banco General. It's all the same for every branch. We don't have transit numbers. We don't have branch numbers. And we just have one big account number that includes everything. So if you have the bank name, its SWIFT code, the address in Panama City, and the your account number, you bring that to your bank and tell them I want to send a wire transfer to. That's if you can't do it online. I do all my stuff online now, but I had to get approval to do wires online. So that is the question. Oh, we had a hand up and it's down now. Alan, you had your hand up. When did you raise it again?
Rick. Check out
Rick?
that.
Oh, there we go. Alan. There we go. Come on out. On your screen, Alan, it's going to say, ask you a couple permissions. There we go. Then just unmute yourself and turn the camera on if you will. Okay, Alan, you got to unmute.
Are you there, Alan?
First Alan.
Alan.
Oh, pop it on a screen. There it is. There we go. You are unmuted. We can hear you now.
Alan.
Nope.
Where are you, Alan?
Okay, we're gonna let Alan try to figure that out. If you can, just say, hey, Alan. Okay. Life insurance.
So it has to be resident first
What's that?
for that kind of insurance.
Yes. You're moving to Panama, Rick. Okay, once you are in the process of residency, meaning you have a temporary residency card, you can apply for an international life insurance plan. Now, obviously, I can't give you a rate. It varies by age, and there's about 8 decent companies in Panama that have offices here that provide this service. 2 of them are our favorites, but you're looking at me. You're looking at a guy in his 50s. I want to keep saying that because next month I can no longer say that. I hit the big 6-0 and my new quotes are in. I have an international plan that has a 100% coverage in Panama, no deductible, no copay. That's exciting. And outside of Panama, sorry, my coverage is throughout Central America and Colombia and Panama. So outside of that area, I have a $10,000 deductible, which I buy gap insurance every time I travel. So I can put the 10,000 on a credit card, get the bill, get it back from my gap insurance provider. But other than that, it's 100% coverage, no copay, no deductible. And my rate for my 60s is $249 a month. At 65, it will go up again. So in your 50s, you're going to be averaging 150. In your 70s, you're going to be closer to 350, 400. That's for full international coverage. Now, for you US folks, I'm not sure, Rick, if you are from the US or not, but if you're already over 65, you're probably paying Part B of your Medicare, which is 180 right now. Now, if you decide to move to Panama and stay, this is going to be your home, you're living here, you bought the plot like I did, then you can cancel your Part B because your international insurance will become your supplement in the US, supplement to your general Medicare, which you don't have to pay for, and which you'll always get. So, there are lots of options there. Now, what I am going to do, I can't, like I said, I can't quote life insurance because every single person is going to be different. So if you want a little bit more information about life insurance, what we do, again, I have to stress this, what we do in our tours, I'm kind of the life insurance guru of the company. Oscar is many gurus, other thing, but I sit down with the client and we analyze before we even go get quotes. And we analyze the cost, the monthlies, what do they need? I have come across so many expats here that are overinsured. Like they're just paying too much money. And the lucky thing is, what you don't want to happen is get in a situation where you're overinsured and then have an incident, and then you're going to get disqualified because of that incident of changing plans. So you want to make sure you have the right plan to begin with, and we'll sit down with you and get that right plan. But for those of you on this call, anyone who wasn't on our tour, we can connect you with someone that can give you quotes from the 8 best guys in town in Panama and get you started. Well, I don't think Alan's machine is working. So if you want to, you can try again, Alan, later.
I think Alan is also right here in the chat. We just
or ask your question in the chat.
right.
Okay, should go
First
one. Oscar, what are the mortgage fees like in Panama?
First of all, what is a mortgage?
Oscar was never a boater. It's funny, as Bob, I was a boater for 10 years. I sold my last boat just a year before after I sank it off the coast of Vancouver. But a year before I moved here.
About that.
I don't know what the mortgage fees are. I apologize. I'm gonna find that out. Mortgage fees, let's say you got a 40-foot boat and you want to rent a slip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it varies. It really varies because it depends on the facilities of the marina. So some of the marinas, they just have space. Some of the marinas you can hook electricity, water, sewer, all kinds of things. So it depends. But I know there is many marinas offering different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the prices, we should definitely get those prices.
Yeah, we should. And it's not.
We can get that. We can get that.
I never got into boating since I've been down here. It's been 12 years. And again, I lived on a boat, Bob, for 8 of those years that I was a boater. And so I boated like major runs from Seattle to Vancouver, Vancouver to Ketchikan, Alaska. So, I've done my fair share of boating, but I've never got into it here. So.
All right.
This is the reason I'm still working at my age. No, being a boat owner. It's a practical to stay a few extra days before and after the trip to get the pensionado visa.
You probably will need more than that because it depends on what is the time frame, and if we should get a hold of a lawyer before that to make sure you have.
Well, on our tour, we do this all the time, Alan. I think you're considering taking one of ours and come a few days early.
Yeah.
The lawyer has 2 offices that we use, one in Panama City. They will assist you in Panama City and submit. Then you come on the tour. Then in Boquete, they've already had it a week. So after the tour, you get back with the lawyers here and you pick it up and finalize in David.
Yeah.
So yes, you can. But plan to be away for
the next
15 to 20 days instead of
total.
7 or 8.
Yeah. In total. Just get us know and send us an email to get that done.
Yeah. Okay, Oscar. 8 years ago, I rented a car and drove all over Panama, and I love Boquete. How much has it changed? I don't want a place overrun with expats, but I do appreciate some of what they bring to the community.
Well, in the last 8 years, there has been a lot of evolution in Boquete. It has grown, has been, it's a very trendy, has been very trendy in the last 8 years. So there, we still have a lot of expats. It's a Boquete, you have to understand that Boquete is the main capital or district of the tourism in the province of Chiriquí. So you always will see people around, but it's anywhere in Panama, especially Boquete, it is wherever you want to be. It's very different social groups. You can be hanging out with the Panamanians. You can hang out more with the expats. It's wherever you want to be. And and yes, the expat has been a beautiful influence, majority in the community for different programs. They work for the community, recycling, cleaning, neutering, handicap foundation, countless also rescue dogs. There is so many things that the expat has been such a positive, beautiful influence in this town and the country as well. So in 8 years has changed quite a bit. I would highly suggest to come back and
Yeah.
just to have look it up for yourself.
You know, Trish, we are sitting right now in a downtown Boquete house,
Mm-hmm.
3 blocks from the center square, which I'm
Yep.
sure you remember. It is now across the street. We have a 20-acre amazing park with lakes and ducks and fish and
Big park.
hiking. And like to walk to do a circle takes me 3 kilometers every morning. But I live on a street where there are one gal and 2 expats. It's a Panamanian neighborhood, but what you said, I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to overrun with expats, but you do want some of what they bring to the community.
Of
And
course.
that's exactly where Boquete is
Yeah.
right now. There's many areas that are not overrun with expats.
Yeah.
Like I live in one. So
Yeah, like where we live also, like it's all we're the only aspects in my block.
yeah. So it helps me learn more and more Spanish. Okay. What is the local language? Espanol.
Yo hablo español en Panamá.
There we go. Yeah, this is more about Boquete. Yes, Boquete has traffic on a Saturday afternoon on Main Street.
Especially if it's a payday.
My windows are wide open. You guys heard any cars go by? I heard one in 2 hours.
No, it begins how the traffic and activity is just mostly weekends, long weekends.
But Ron, in this area up in the Highlands, we see Palmyra,
Mm-hmm.
another great option, a smaller town, 20 minutes from Boquete. We see Dolega, 18 minutes from Boquete. There'll be no traffic in these places.
There's so many
you know,
neighborhoods in
people
it.
use their horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are lots of places that aren't as developed. Yes, Boquete is getting more developed, but for me, we got 3 blocks down the other way, a brand new rave, very modern, high-end grocery store, and I kind of like that. There
Yeah.
are certain things that I like in there, but I still buy all my fruits and vegetables from the public market just down the street here.
Yeah.
I don't buy them from the grocery store. Okay, what's the next one?
Bruce,
Yeah,
in Panama City, how do I contact Uber? We don't have Uber in our city, and we
Ah.
know nothing about Uber other than what we hear. Well, in Panama City, you contact Uber the same way you will contact Uber in any other part of the world with the application.
Yeah, he says he doesn't have it in the city, so you have to install the Uber app on your phone and you set it up on a credit card. So you just open the Uber app and then you type in where you're going.
And where are you?
Yeah, it'll detect where you are based on your location.
Mm-hmm. But
And-
sometimes double check that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's what can I compare it to? Well, it's like sending a text or an email, you know.
Yeah,
So-
the thing is with the Uber, it's an application, so you want to
Yeah.
make sure you have that on your phone, you're on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there's nobody
Mainly
to
that.
call. It's much cheaper than a taxi, and in my
Reliable.
sense, I use Uber. I don't take taxis. I take taxis around Boquete because we don't have enough Uber drivers. But if I'm in David, I always take it. They also have InDrive. A lot of people will tell you take InDrive, it's cheaper. First of all, you have to have cash. Make sure you have small bills because don't try to get a change from an in-drive guy who paid with a 20 when you go, when the fee's $2.
Yeah.
So.
I'll say just take with Uber.
Tell us more about Tennessee, Oscar.
How's Pedací? Well, Pedací is a beautiful, quaint boutique town in the province of Los Santos. It is still very preserving the traditions. It is very it's all about community, very stretched community. So a good symbiotic situation between expats and Panamanians. Very cultured, very much about the old good times about relationships. And people know, everyone knows everybody's deal, literally, because it's a very small town. Very festive too. Very quiet, but when it comes to festivities, it can be totally the opposite spectrum. It's warm and quite warm. But you have the beach from Pedací, some of the closest beaches within 5-minute drive. Probably 10-15 minutes if you have a bicycle or e-bike. And it is right located on the coast of the Tuna coast. All that part of Pedací, all the Azuero Peninsula is the Tuna coast. So the best fish you will ever eat in your life in the whole area. So it's very calm town. I like it. One of my favorite towns in Panama is Pedací. But
Cool.
I cannot say anything enough about it. You need to come, hopefully with us, to see it for yourself and experience.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, our 7-day tours, we stay overnight.
We're staying overnight in Pedací,
The
so
only
I'll get to show you.
Company in the country that stays overnight in
Yeah,
Tennessee, because it's popular.
very popular, and we know a lot of good people there. Some of the people they have been through with us currently live in Pedací, so you get to see and experience enough.
Let's jump ahead to this question, since you're on that.
About
It's the
Chitré.
day before.
Expat community in Chitré, mostly not as big. The biggest community expats in that whole area will be Pedací. Chitré, there is some, but not that. It's not known for that. Most expats relocate to Chitré because they want to be among Panamanians. So everything you need to be very familiar with Spanish. Doesn't have any of the typical American amenities. There is some amenities, but very few. However, Chitré is the main commerce town in the whole province of Herrera. It's the capital of Herrera. So you can have a nice living. There is good gated communities, good condominiums, good housing. You still, if you wanna take a break to go to Pedací, you're only an hour away, an hour and a half. You are like within 30 minutes to the Pacific Ocean. You have an airport as well. You can fly to Panama City if you plan ahead, obviously, because it's not everyday flights. But Air Panama flies out of Chitré back and forth to Panama City. So Chitré is affordable. It's one of the main areas in the province of Herrera of Los Santos when a lot of the older Panamanians go there to retire because it's affordable. Very affordable, yeah.
Okay, on the Cherokee tour, where are the 3 nights spent?
And the whole time we sleep in Boquete in a very nice hotel. But every day, like the first day, we get to see a lot of Barqueta beach near Las Olas or Las Olas condominiums. We got to see quite a bit David, check out what is all the main hospitals. You get a good grasp of what is David. Then we have lunch, of course, there. The next day we are in Boquete. We get to see the Tuesday market. We get to experience the different areas about the downtown. And we also get to meet with the experts. These experts that we've been working for so many years right now. And the following day, we go to Volcán and Cerro Punta. We get to see all the best. For the 3 nights, we sleep in Boquete. And we're going to be very comfortable. And
we really thought about that when we were building this tour.
Yeah.
And we only spent one of those days in Boquete.
Yeah.
Because we're out everywhere. But what is it better that you can come here and Monday we get to the hotel, you can unpack your clothes, put them in a closet, and you just and the last day you just overnight before the airport. So we found that it's a great hotel. It has a restaurant inside for breakfast. It
Yeah.
has a bar for your happy hour in the early evenings before you go out and explore for
Walking
dinner.
distance to all the best restaurants
Yeah.
in town too.
Yeah, so that's why we did it. Mhm. Okay. These people won't stop.
Anonymous is
Okay.
from Vancouver.
And
Wow.
two anonymous I didn't know we had anonymous attendees, but welcome for joining. Cannot give you that at all. I'm sorry. It might not even be a pallet. It might be more affordable to mail that to Florida to a freight forwarder. Would have to know many more details. I'm going to give you an example here. One of our guests from October, I'm helping them move right now. I had them measure and weigh every box. And from the way they were going to send it to the way we did send it was an $800 difference. Cheaper, obviously. There are many options. And obviously, we don't have the time on this call for me to analyze all those options. But sending a pallet, the starting is going to be 1,000 with the maximum probably 3-4 from that location.
Yep.
But it might not even need to be a pallet if it's stuff that can go by mail to Florida to a freight forwarder that consolidates. So, but that, I can't really tell you on call with this.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Cynthia, when a holder of the pensionado visa request jubilado, the restaurant who pays for the discount? Is the restaurant owner? If so, the restaurant owner claim back to the government. Actually concerned about putting a small business owner. The pensionado discount is all the business owner take that hit. Government doesn't give anything to the restaurant. This law, the pensionado, was actually created for many Panamanian retirees. Their monthly income was no more than $300. So they have these basic discounts. When you get that discount, you go, let's say, if you go to the big international chain or restaurant, you won't hurt the business. When you go to a local restaurant in any downtown, in any town, that's pretty much the profit you're taking away from the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I know because I've been working in restaurants. So definitely, I will always highly suggest you not use it on small restaurants, especially in fondas. Definitely do not use that on fondas because it's just, a fonda. What you pay for a meal? $4, $5. Take out the percentage that the pensionado. That's
it's crazy. Some people believe I'm a pensionado. Can you believe that?
yeah.
No.
I mean, what I mean.
So,
What do you mean by that?
Kilometer 35, my favorite restaurant, Maria. She, often has done, she brings it up. I'm getting a chicken breast, rice, plantains, and a salad, and it's $3.75. And she looks at me and say, "Jubilado?"
But that was because she
that's
was flirting with
Spanish.
you.
Yeah, I know she was flirting with me. I said, no. Let me pay you the $4.
Yeah.
I would never take,
Yeah.
it's $3.75 for the meal.
Yeah,
But I go to McDonald's and I supersize my Big Mac and it's almost $9. Yes, I would take my jubilado.
Yeah. Also, use it also more for the jubilado and
but
big chains of hotels or airline tickets.
My electric bill, I couldn't believe it.
Electric
It was $23 this month. Yes, I want my 25% off.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I don't get it yet, but next month. But airline tickets, movie theaters, why not? We go to the movie theater, it's $6 now. Is it $6 now?
I don't know. I haven't been a movie theater since.
It was $5 last year. Someone told me it went up to $6, so it would be $3 if it's $6 because it's 50% off. So yeah, we'll take it there, but I'm not going to take it off some bond like Oscar said. Okay. I think we did the club bars and salsa dancing one. Any restrictions are bringing pets to Panama if we retire to Panama. The only restrictions are the restricted breeds, which are the bull breeds. The snub nose breeds. There's a word for it. Yeah, the snub-nosed breeds cannot go in cargo. There's no restriction what's at all on dogs and cat breeds entering Panama. There are restrictions on exotic pets, lots of them. We, as part of our services, we do pet relocation also. So if there's any needs you have there, feel free to let us know. I'm gonna top it in here. The airlines have restrictions typically on weight. It's more of the size of the crate. If your dog is more than 33 inches high, it can't go in cargo. You're gonna have to find another way to bring your dog here. And that's either FedEx. No, I'm sure, yes, it is. It's with a pet relocation service that uses cargo planes. And they build a crate for it, or private jet or a jet cherry. Yeah, we are getting down there, guys. And everyone's hanging on to keep numbers go up. Can you tell me how Wise is used to transfer money? Of course, Wise is not a bank per se. They are a British company, been around years and years and years, but they hold currency. They're more or less a currency exchange company. I even use it moving from the US because banks in the US typically charge around $50 to send a wire, an international wire, which is insane because you're going to get charged that here. So it costs $100 to send something. So Wise is your intermediate. You can open up accounts in multiple currencies in Wise. So I have a US account and a Canadian account. I'm not sure if I'm talking to a Canadian here. So I move money. For example, you can move money into Wise multiple ways that doesn't cost you any money. If you're in Canada, you can use bill pay, you can use email money transfer with most banks. If you're in the US, you can use ACH and send the money to your US Wise account. And then to send money from Wise to Panama, it's very inexpensive and very fast. Like I typically can get money here in an hour or two using Wise, as opposed to a day or two using a bank with intermediate banks and stuff like that. So it's basically a currency exchange, even though from the US to Panama, there's no currency exchange. And I still move the money that way because it's cheaper to send. So I'm now paying $3.50 to send a wire, as opposed to 45 with my other bank America, or 65 Canadian, which I guess is also 45 HSBC or Royal Bank.
All right.
Okay, done. What about your tray? I think we got that one.
Nope. Well, she trade,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it's
you
on
already
a 7-day tour.
Yeah, I think it's the same. Yes.
We definitely spend the night in Chitre. We got to see Chitre, and you have an idea what is Chitre about?
Yeah. Oscar, do you think the next election will change visa requirements for expats?
I can assure you they will not change the pensionado visa. That one I can assure you. The other ones might have modifications, but nobody will have the answer. No one has. No one can tell you have that answer. You will wait for what is going to be a delay of between 6 and a year after the elections. It's not going to get harder because they already make modifications for that matter, for instance, for the friendly nations visa. So that I don't think it's going to be any more complicated. Potentially might go backwards in a way that's going to be easier to motivate people they wanted to move here.
Panama is in a situation right now. They want to generate more revenue. Immigration has realized the change to the friendly nation visa in 2021 really hurt their revenue because that was a revenue maker. Right now, the pensionado visa, immigration makes nothing, zilch. There are no fees to immigration. So pensionado visa, there was almost as many friendly nations visas coming as pensionado visas.
Yeah.
So, and they were collecting 1,150, is it? Yeah, $1,200 on every application for every person.
Yeah, but
2,400
also
person.
like the understanding
Yeah.
Many people that came on those on the foreign nation visa, they don't live here. They just come here to bring income to the country.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it. So if it's something's gonna change, it won't be for more complicated or for better, in my humble opinion.
It's funny, the friendly nation visa is what it is, guys. There are three options. One, you get hired by an existing Panamanian company that's already in business and already has employees. Number two, you invest $200,000 in real estate or $200,000 in a CD. No, you cannot open a corporation, hire yourself, and pretend to have a job.
Which
Like,
there
like
may
other companies are telling you you can do. We get phone calls all the time from people that are in the second phase of that because their first lawyer will no longer answer their calls. And no lawyer will take them on a second phase because they didn't follow the rules. So
Yep.
now they have to leave the country. So it's very sad what's going on there with immigration.
that's a lot of money lost right there. And that,
It's choosing the wrong relocation company.
precisely.
You know, I got an article choosing the right relocation company. That's choosing the wrong. Okay, anyway. So how does one go about this? Interesting question to our anonymous friend. How does a coin that would moving a coin collection that would totally dependent on the size. Typically, is no issue because the Panama doesn't have a numismatic value for coins. Can you tell I collect coins? So I bought a $1 Chinese panda, and the customs value was $1.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, because it's face value. So I would say bring it with you, like pack it up in a suitcase. It'll be heavy, but this is my coin, and maybe the customs guy wants to count it. He's gonna count 25 cents, 50 cents, you know, because even though it might be a 1926 nickel, but you know, so
Yeah.
yeah, but there is no, I know a lot of coin collectors here. There is no numismatic value. They typically, even FedEx will, you know, they insure for one thing and then they customs value it at face value. It's even gold. Crazy. What can you do about that service, Panama Gold Council? What is that? Do you know of them?
Panama Gold Council.
Do you know of them? I understand that they help you open a bank account and you don't have to be there physically. Okay, let me answer. I know who you're talking about, Luis. If anyone tells you they can open up a bank account here for you without you being here physically, I need you to walk away. The governor of banking issued a order in January 2021 that you must be here present and you must be in the process of residency with a letter from your lawyer stating so to open up a bank account in Panama. So if anyone else is, yes, I know people who have been able to open that account is suspect for being frozen. That's all I can tell. So, yeah. That was easy to answer. Don't do it. Look to move to Bocas.
Don't do it.
Okay, Oscar, Bocas. I've only been to Bocas once. Oh, we have a small weenie dog. I've done research to get there. Sounds complicated. Nope, it's not complicated, I can tell you. You come to Panama City with the wiener dog under the seat. We can help you with all the paperwork if you want. And then you book the flight through Fly Trip.
Yep.
Just Google that, Fly Trip. They fly from Panama City to Bocas and the dog can sit in your lap.
Yep. Actually, they take off from Tacoma.
Well, they
can take off.
Well, they can if you buy the whole plane, but
Yeah.
but you can be a regular passenger on Fly Trip. People fly with their dogs on it all the time.
Yep.
Like you got, if it's a 100-pound dog, you got to buy a seat for it.
Yeah.
But
the best way is use us. We can walk you through the process, and you'll save headaches and potentially money.
Any dog's got to stay. It's got a home quarantine for 40 days, so taking it back and forth is an issue. You're not supposed to be moving all over the country with the dog. So, yeah, so you should stay here for those 6 weeks.
All right.
Hey, Canada, no, Canada, Panama is not on Canada's list yet of countries. If you look on the government website, They have a list of countries where they can direct deposit into your account. Panama is not on that list. Most people, even me, as a non-resident, I keep a Canadian bank. And I'm not collecting my pension for another 5 years, 6 years. So mine will be deposited right into my Canada bank and I'll collect a bit of it and then I'll move it over based on the methods we talked about on this call. Okay, we gotta get to the rest here. The Google invite for the Zoom said 9 p.m. The original one did, but it was updated about a week ago, so all the reminders came up right today. We changed clocks. Google didn't. Oh, 9, no, 8 p.m. Yeah. It also said Bogota time, which is now 1 hour earlier. Yeah, we are on Bogota time. When paying your bills in Panama, can we pay online? All bills in Panama that I've come across, except your water bill, which is paid annually, and your electrical bill can be paid through online banking, credit cards, stuff like that. The electrical bill, you can pay it through an app called Punto Pago. Punto Pago?
Págalo fácil.
No, Punto Pago, like the pay stations. They have an app. So you can,
Punto pago.
yes, Oscar.
Punto de pago.
We go to Vermeer, what's it called? Punto Pago. The pay people.
Oh, but
Yeah.
alright.
You can pay your electrical bill with a credit card there for a 3% fee. And then the water bill you pay with your taxes every year
It's just because I never paid those bills.
Yeah. in person. I know Megan pays all your bills,
Yes, it is.
right?
And I made the money to pay the bills.
Yeah, you can carry some cash. Most things are, usable with credit card here, but small vendors prefer, small cash. Life or medical, I was talking medical insurance. Life insurance is available here too. From the same people, just fill out that form and summary, how to obtain a mortgage in Panama. If you pick out a piece of land or a property, you're gonna need a house. It's if you're a foreigner, it's gonna be quite difficult to get a mortgage on land. If you are a foreigner, like especially new, you're looking at 30 to 40% down minimum. It must be paid off by the time you're 70 or 75, depending on the bank. The interest rate's going to be around 7% right now, and you're looking at about a 6-month approval process. So you're looking for a very patient seller. Okay. We are slowly winding down. The last question's right on time. Do any locals speak in English? What do you say, Oscar? I say 5% of Panamanians are fluent in conversational English. 10 to 15,
Yeah, depends where you are. In Panama City, the numbers are way higher, but in Boquete, from the Panamanians, I would say 10%.
Fluent conversational?
The thing is, we're having now Panamanian from the city that moved here. So that's the boqueteño, no.
So we say between 5 and 10%.
I wish that would be more.
We'll see. Highlight. What's the best tour activities in Panama City? We don't do tours, but Oscar will tell you because he knows about it.
Well, the best tours in Panama City, if it depends on your physical level, you can do very extreme tours like doing some hikes, some canopy. You can do the Monkey Island, the Panama Canal tour, panoramic tour. You can do that day trip to the Taboga Island, to the Pearl Islands. You can do skydiving.
Google InsidePanamaTours.com. They got a lot of good tours. I like them.
InsidePanamaTours.com.
The guy's name is Miguel.
Oh, another really cultural tour is they were visiting the Endera village in Chagres. That's a really neat tour.
Okay, we're really gonna push through some of these. Some of these are big. What age do you have to be a retiree? 18. That's truth, folks. If you were I know some people in their thirties here that are receiving military benefits because of a disability. They qualify for a pensionado. I know a police officer that retired at 43 after 20 years of service. They can get a pensionado, so there is no limit. You just need a lifelong pension from somewhere.
Yeah.
Not an annuity, not an investment bank or anything, a lifelong pension. Goes running late. Did you talk about healthcare? Yes, we talked about healthcare. I'm gonna put the link back in the chat. If you want a little more information about healthcare. Sending homes to getting the closing, from selecting a home to closing, to getting your your keys. Buying a house, what? 30 days to 6 months, 1 to 6 months. Joanne, we were talking to Joanne yesterday, and closings averaging about 2 months. Yeah, it's not like if you're with a reputable, excellent, Mariella, excellent. You need to be with a reputable realtor and lawyer to get that done.
Yeah.
You don't want to go too fast. There's no such thing as title insurance here, which you guys in North America are so used
You're
to.
gonna make sure that it's all
Close
good.
quicker.
If it's property and everything's good, it should be about 2 months closing.
It's a common and safe to transport, a safe with coins in a shipping container. Well, this is the problem with shipping containers. Are you going to insure it for its real value? If it's our customs are going to say, hey, we want to charge you something on that too. But, you know, the chances of a shipping container even being open here are not huge. If you get it all done right and all your paperwork is correct. So there are companies that will move precious metals too. You might want to look at that option. Like you might have a huge coin collection. And there are companies that move precious metals and they know how to do it. And they could ship it right here and you know, and you'll pick it up right from the airport. Minimum monthly pension. Oh, to qualify for pensionado, 1,000 US dollars for a single, 1,250 US dollars for a couple. All right. What do you say, Oscar? How have we done here?
Yeah, we did pretty good. We did pretty good.
We answered a ton of questions. Some of the questions, guys, just aren't going to be able to answer on a Q&A because we would need to sit there and analyze and talk to you for half an hour to get down to the bottom to figure out like about guys.
Also, you can send us an email to us.
Yeah.
We just we can look into that.
But that's what our tours, you come on our tours, you don't just at the end of the tour, we don't throw you into a lion's den of a bunch of new people who are all trying to help each other with questions. No, you get Oscar's, mine, Megan's personal cell phone numbers and personal emails, not just the general company one. And we are going to I'm meeting tomorrow for lunch with Paul Lucas, who was on our tour last year. He's just got here. He's got some questions, needs some help. We're meeting another couple that was on the November tour who's moving here in May on a Zoom to go through their checklist. So that's what we do. So consider, come with us, have a good time, have a blast. Let us show you this country. Let us help you move here.
Learn about Panama, learn about how things get done here, and in the meantime, have a great time.
So yeah, we've got 2 offerings, 7 days across the whole country or 3-day Cherokee. We'd love to have you with us. All right, guys. You guys have a great evening.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate your time and your support. And I hope to many of you that came for first time on this Q&A find a lot of good information and value in this Q&A. and we'll be more than honored to have you in one of our tours of a 7-day or a 3-day, or maybe both, because actually we have people that have done 7-day and then a 3-day.
Yeah.
We just had one, my good friend Bob Steer, he did that.
Okay, we are 8:30. We are out of questions, out of time. I posted our website multiple times. There's contact forms in there. There's everything about buying cars, moving pets, health insurance. Feel free to reach out. We'd love to say
Yeah.
hi.
Have a good night, folks.
All righty.
Happy
Bye-bye.
Easter.
Good night, everyone.